shout it from the top of Mount Washington. It's the game of the year, perhaps the game of the decade, maybe the game of the millennium, or very possibly a big dud. Article continues below. Until the flop in Miami on Monday night, the New England Patriots were playing as many thought they would, heading into the season like a powerhouse. And the Pittsburgh Steelers were squeezing past inferior foes, bringing into question whether they could slow the Foxborough freight train. The Dolphins did just that, one day after the Steelers needed another late rally to edge arch-rival Baltimore and clinch the AFC North. So while Sunday's contest at Heinz Field will almost certainly decide the top seed in the AFC, it's not exactly Alafrasia, two undefeated heavyweights facing off. It's good to be in big games than be in ones nobody's watching, Steelers coach Mike Tomlin says. We better be appreciative of this spot and not resist it in any way. This is what we've been fighting for since March. Why would you fight that? It's an awesome thing. Forget the backward A game, which the Steelers 112 seem to have misplaced for much of the past 2 months, despite winning 8 straight, with a half dozen of them close, decided by 1, 3, 3, 3, 5 and 6 points. They will need the backward Triple-A game against New England 103, which knows a loss eliminates it from topping the conference heading into the postseason. It's all about us being prepared to play Pittsburgh, Patriots safety Devin McCourty says, mimicking his coach. All the extra stuff comes with it, but it's just if we worry about the playoffs, well, go down there and well get killed, honestly. The action got started Thursday night in a game with no playoff implications, the Denver Broncos' 2,513 victory over the Indianapolis Colts. Brock Osweiler threw for 2 touchdowns and ran for another in relief of the injured Trevor Siemian, and C.J. Anderson rushed for 158 yards on 30 carries as Denver 59 won its second straight and handed the Colts 311, the 5th consecutive loss. Siemian injured his left shoulder in the first quarter and did not return. On Saturday night, Kansas City routed the turnover-prone Los Angeles Chargers 3,013 to seize control of the AFC West. Also Saturday, Detroit beat Chicago 2010. Alex Smith threw for 231 yards and 2 touchdowns, and Kareem Hunt ran for 155 yards and a score for the Chiefs 86, whose 8th straight win over the visiting Chargers 77 all but sewed up the division and a spot in the playoffs. The only way Kansas City can squander it is by losing its last 2 games and the Chargers or Oakland Raiders winning out. In Detroit, Matthew Stafford threw 2 touchdown passes and avoided mistakes, allowing the Lions 86 to stay in the playoff picture. The Bears 410 have lost 6 of 7. Dallas 76 at Oakland 67. Oakland might need to win out for any shot at the postseason. Same for Dallas, chasing a wild card in the much stronger NFC. With star RB Zeke Elliott suspended for 1 more game, the combination of Dak Prescott throwing to Jason Witten and Dez Bryant has been the focal point on offense. Prescott's coming off his first 300-yard passing game of the season with a career-high 332 against the woeful Giants. After fizzling in KC, Oakland needs to rediscover its offense and get pressure on Prescott from Bruce Irvin and Khalil Mack. Los Angeles Rams 94 at Seattle 85. The Rams lost 2 of 4 in the midst of a very difficult stretch. Now, the key division matchup with the banged-up, penalty-prone Seahawks. Seattle, whose era of invincibility at home has been punctured with 2 losses in the past 3, won the first meeting and would have the tiebreaker with a repeat. This easily could come down to Russell Wilson making a late run for league MVP, lighting up the skies against Rams QB Jared Goff, one of the NFL's most improved players in 2017. LA is 30 after a loss. The Eagles beat the Rams last Sunday. Green Bay 76 at Carolina 94. Huge one for both sides, and this time the Packers head into it with Aaron Rodgers back at quarterback. Recovered from his broken collarbone, Green Bay stayed relevant without him. Going 34, Rodgers might have some rust. Still, was there ever any doubt he would replace Brett Hundley when his wing was healed? Hopefully it gives a lift to some of the guys, but I'm not coming back to save this team, Rodgers said. I'm coming back to play quarterback the way I know how to play it. Rodgers will face a formidable defense that includes Julius Peppers, who left Green Bay for a return to Carolina this season and has 5 sacks in the past 4 games against his former team, and Luke Kuechly 100 tackles in 6 straight seasons. New York Jets 58 at New Orleans 94. New Orleans owns the tiebreaker over Carolina thanks to a season sweep, and gets fortunate here. Josh McCown, having the best season of his lengthy, vagabond pro career, has a broken hand, so untested Bryce Petty gets the start. The Saints lost 2 of the past 3 against top-level opponents, so they aren't likely to fall into any traps. The well-balanced and toe-pranked offense could go wild against the inconsistent Jets, and no team has improved more on D than Navlan's. Atlanta 85 at Tampa Bay 49 Monday night. While the Buccaneers spiral enough to put coach Dirk Koetter's job security in question, it's the defending NFC champ Falcons who have been maddeningly up and down. Get this, Atlanta is 43 in its new billion-dollar palace. That means the Monday night spotlight should be fine, especially for WR Julio Jones. He had a season-best 12 receptions for 253 yards and 2 TDs against the Bucs 3 weeks ago, his NFL record third game with 250-plus yards receiving. No other receiver in league history has more than one. Cincinnati 58 at Minnesota 103. Vikings will secure NFC North crown for second time in 3 seasons by winning, and the Bengals have never won in 5 trips to Minnesota. Cincinnati didn't even show up at home last Sunday and being routed by the Bears. Yes, the Bears. Minnesota's defense had an off day at Carolina, but is formidable enough to win big. The combined record of teams the Vikings have lost to is 2,712. Combined record of teams the Bengals have beaten, counting the Browns twice, is 1,451. Vikings coach Mike Zimmer was the defensive coordinator for the Bengals under current coach Marvin Lewis from 20,082,013. And here's a strange stat: Lewis has never lost to any former assistant, going 601. Philadelphia 112 at New York Giants 211. An Eagles victory and a Vikings loss makes Philly the place to go through in the NFC playoffs. Of course, Eagles fans mostly are looking at the bleak side. Carson Wentz, the superb young quarterback who has engineered much of this year's turnaround, tore his left ACL at the Rams and is done for the season. Then again, Philly probably could suit up Ron Jaworski instead of Nick Foles and win this by letting its top-notch defense loose against the beleaguered Giants. The Eagles have won 6 of 7 and 15 of the past 19 against the Giants. Houston 49 at Jacksonville 94. Okay, take a deep breath and listen. Jacksonville clinches a playoff berth with a win. It can even get in with help in other cities despite a loss. Not only that, the Jaguars, with the terrific pass rush and strong ground game, have a shot at a first-round playoff bye. To be at the bottom and to finally fight our way, work our way and get back up just to be in the position that we're at now, it's great, and it shows you that we've finally started to earn the right to win, linebacker Paul Posluszny says. Now we want more. Houston might have been in position for more in 2017 had the injury bug not ravaged the roster. The Texans, already minus brilliant J.J. Watt and excellent pound Whitney Merciless, are down to the third quarterback T.J. Yates. Tennessee 85 at San Francisco 310. The Titans can't afford a stumble against the suddenly competitive Niners. San Francisco lost its first 9, but now has won 3 of 4. Jimmy Garoppolo is playing like he will fill that franchise QB role the Niners hoped he would when they dealt with New England to get him. Tennessee has a showdown in Music City in Week 17 with the Jaguars. The Titans can make that a winner-take the division matchup if they beat San Francisco and then the Rams in Nashville next week. Miami 67 at Buffalo 76. After stunning New England, the Dolphins go to a place they don't much like, particularly in December. RB Kenyon Drake has emerged and receiver Jarvis Landry remains steady. The defense befuddled Brady last Monday night, and expected starter Tyrod Taylor is no Brady. Bills star LeSean McCoy probably has been doing a snow dance all week. He was dominant in last weekend's 137 overtime winner blizzard against Indianapolis, the second time in his career the running back has dashed through the snow like that. Baltimore 76 at Cleveland 0-1-3. A sputtering offense came to life for the Ravens at Pittsburgh, where they should have won to make them a solid leader for a wild card. Even if that attack goes back to its previous ways, seeing Baltimore destroy much of its postseason chances in this one is unlikely. A 30 finish gets the Ravens in. A 30 finish would be miraculous for the Browns, the first team in NFL history to start 0-3 in consecutive seasons. Arizona 67 at Washington 58. Of interest here, wait, well, find something, is Cardinals RB Adrian Peterson, who needs one rushing TD to reach 137 yards to pass the great Jim Brown 12,312 on the career rushing list. But Peterson is battling a neck problem that could sideline him for the final 3 games. More app NFLspro32.app.org and https twitter.com and full.